The closure of schools in the Tokwe-Mukosi area of Mashingo province in Zimbabwe has had a disastrous toll on the achievement of quality education, as school-going children have gone for several weeks without access to public education. The Tokwe-Mukosi flooding disaster that took place in January 2014 led to the closure of 3 primary schools situated along the Tokwe River. The closure of schools, namely Chehudo, Chewuku and Lorongwe primary schools, left thousands of children hopeless and in desperate need of access to quality public education. Collapsed bridges coupled with flooded roads only made the situation worse. Some affected children said they had lost both personal and school belongings due to the flooding, such that they could not even continue to study during their own private time in the temporary structures where they were housed by the government and donor agencies on their way to the resettlement area of Chingwizi, situated on higher ground. While the disruption of learning was just one issue, some parents highlighted that even the provision and access to quality learning tools and teaching environments was compromised to a large extent. They expressed deep concern over the quality of teachers who would be delivering education to their children whenever the opportunity to do so arose. Most of the parents who spoke to Zimta said they had wanted government to be the mandatory first provider of public education through the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education. They also wanted properly trained teachers for the displaced children of the Tokwe-Mukosi area. Some parents expressed sadness and desperation but made urgent appeals to the education authorities of Zimbabwe to ensure that public education, especially for the flood victims, was provided.
Because you know temi kutanga inenge yakutopera manje mwana anenge asingaendi kuchikoro saka dai tatikumbira kuti zvinhu zvadai zvaita mukukasira vana vaona kuenda kuchikoro.
Victims were kept in holding centers such as Gororo Clinic, where they were awaiting transportation to the main resettlement area, but the main concern from parents was that too much learning time had been lost with the children not attending school and teachers not being available to teach under the circumstances. The Mashingo Provincial Administrator, Mr. Felix Chikovo, confirmed that a total of 6,393 families from the Tokwe-Mukosi Basin had been affected by the flooding disaster as at 20 February 2014. He said that about 8,167 primary school children had their schooling disrupted by the floods, and a total of 2,295 secondary school children needed to attend schooling. Mr. Chikova pointed out that the Civil Protection Unit was in the process of relocating people to safer ground such as the Chingwizi, Masangula and Chisase resettlement areas. He indicated that 4 sites for building primary schools and 1 for building a secondary school had been identified, but the challenge was to find teachers for the children to start learning.
Chingwizi would have to take about 4 sites, 3 primary and 1 secondary. 2 clinic sites. We expected 1 classroom block to have started by 19, that was yesterday. When we left there, what was about teacher, but director and so I expect that by Monday they should start lessons. The minister was there yesterday. We were there together. Minister of Education, Dogora. And he assured everyone that the classes will start.
This is
Primary. The first one is the primary.
The Zimta Secretary General, Mr. John Molilo, strongly urged the government to take necessary steps to ensure that flood victims were not denied the right and access to public education.
Zimta's view is informed by the fact that natural disasters do not announce their coming, and our hearts and feelings are with the people of Tokwim Kosi on that particular disaster, and we are very concerned about the plight of children on the aftermath of that particular disaster. Many children have lost valuable schooling time. Also, the environment in which they were used to learning has dramatically been changed, and we are worried about the psychological impact upon the children. More so, those children who were, or those learners who were scheduled to write their grade 7 examination this year, and those who are sitting for their Form 4, we are worried about that, and we are very concerned. And we think something should be done. As has been demonstrated, we are happy that society in Zimbabwe, companies, communities have responded positively, and our view is that as quickly as perhaps the resources can permit, learning facilities should be established, whether they are makeshift or permanent, but we would desire permanent learning facilities. And also the conditions for teachers. We want that to be quickly attended to, so that both the learners and the teachers quickly settle down, are rehabilitated, and they can get on with their business.
For Zimta, the provision of quality public education is not just social responsibility, but a basic human right for all.